Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Once again, this is Jeffrey Daniel coming to you from Abuja, Nigeria. Today is March 29th, 2022, according to that Gregorian calendar. And you guys know I'm always going to bang on the Gregorian calendar because it has omitted thousands of years of our glorious history and our past and our culture. And we got to reclaim it. We got to get it back, okay? So I got a piece of candy in my mouth because I'm trying to keep my mouth, uh, you know, moist because it's 36 Celsius here today. I forgot what that is in Fahrenheit. Let me get rid of this candy because it ain't working. It ain't working. I just have to go on and keep it with water. My God, there's so much going on right now in the world. Hold on, you guys. There is so much going on in the world today. Wow. And we're going to get to a lot of it. Okay. So, first of all, I would like to thank everybody who has tuned into my song, Back to the World, and my other song, Make Love Great Again. If you guys haven't tuned into it, go to YouTube, go to Spotify, whatever, and you can check it out. Jeffrey Daniel, Make Love Great Again, or Jeffrey Daniel, Back to the World. And these are my songs that I have out that are addressing our global, social, cultural, racial, whatever, political, religious. I'm talking about everything, you guys, so we're getting in on it, okay? So there you go. Also, I'd like to remind you guys that this is the information age. Ignorance is a choice. The choice is yours. I'm just trying to be the voice of reason in this era of fake news and cancel culture, okay? Now, before I get started, I want to get my disclaimer in, and anything I say and stand for is not meant to be racist or discriminative against any individual, any group of people, or any race of people. I am not a racist. I'm not prejudiced. I'm here to spread the love, you guys. I'm here, a part of this human experience with us all in this global, universal experience. And I'm loving it. I'm trying to get as much as I can out of this and try to make it as best as I can for myself and everyone else, okay? All right, you guys, so here we go. We're gonna get in, you guys. You know what's happening? It's really getting tough now when I want to compose these commentaries lately because breaking news just keeps coming in so precipitously inundating. And it's almost hard to keep up with. So it's like so precipitous. It's just like coming. So I got to keep up with everything. Now, I know if I had titled this video Will Smith Oscar Slap, if it was called Will Smith's Oscar Slap, I would have attracted thousands of viewers because people just love controversy and drama. But I'm on here sharing vital information for our survival through this life. It just goes to show you how programmed people's priorities are. It just goes to show. But, I don't like to just bait people. I don't like to, what do they call it? Clickbait? Yeah, I don't like to do that clickbait. Just give a false title or, and at that point, I don't like to just use other people's conditions for my own gain. I don't like to do that, but I like to address the things that we're going through. By the way, as you see in the title, this video is entitled, We've Been Programmed for Annihilation. Now, if that title doesn't attract your attention, I don't know what will, because we got to know what's going on, and we are all being programmed for annihilation, and I'll get to that, and I'll let you guys know what's happening with that, okay? All right, so, okay, I know everybody's buzzing about the Will Smith and Chris Rock Oscar slap, but I would first like to congratulate Will Smith on winning the Best Male Actor for his portrayal of Richard Williams in the movie called King Richard. And I talked about that a couple of videos back about how Will Smith is perceived when he plays in a predominantly black movie compared to when he plays in movies with his, I don't know, I'm going to say white counterparts or counterparts of other cultures and stuff. But the Academy did give it a nod. I'm so glad they did because the movie was about Serena and Venus Williams' life, their career, and how their father led them to prominence. And that's why they call it King Richard. It was really about how their father got them to where they got to, and to be the best, two of the best tennis players in history, for that matter. So I'm just sorry his Oscar victory had to be overshadowed by his altercation with Chris Rock. And I know everybody's got their say on it. Everybody's got their spin on that. Everybody got their perspective. First of all, I would just like to say, I love both of these brothers. They are both outstanding individuals in their field. And we don't need to pick sides and choose it because I think they understand each other. Chris didn't press charges against Will Smith. Will Smith later came back and apologized, and I know he feels very remorseful for what he did, his actions, because those actions overshadowed his victory moment, you know. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Even in Will Smith's acceptance speech, you can clearly see the pain and frustration in his eyes and in his voice. That guy came to that program carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders for a lot of different reasons, you know. He has a lot of different reasons that are going on there. His personal relationship with his wife, that's so public. The things that are going on that has been made so public. His career, trying to do what he's doing. That's no excuse for a person to get violent in public, though. But, you know, I think comedians, they push buttons sometimes, and this time it just backfired. But so publicly, wow. I pray they resolve this issue before the haters and the peanut galleries get too involved. Because you know how it is. Now they're saying that the Board of Academy is now reviewing it and thinking how they should, I don't want to use the word punish, but you know, how Will Smith should have to pay for his actions in a sense, you know. He has to be, you know, responsible for what he did. So let's see how that goes. I hope they don't take the Oscar back from him because it's so hard for us to get there. And you know what? This is so strange. I don't want to go off on a tangent about that, but, you know, as Prince once said, the artist Prince, he said, how would it feel to win these awards in our game instead of always, you know, expecting something out of their game? Because that's their game. They own that game. So when they allow us to come in, when they allow us to receive something, you know, we're so happy about it and we're rejoicing. Wow, Will Smith got Best Actor, you know. You know, I think a lot of his movies should have got Best Actor, you know, if they haven't, you know. So anyway, Denzel Washington, all of them. And it shouldn't be, I don't think it should be a quota thing like, oh, how many blacks won this year? Do we have enough blacks? I think if the movie is great and the actors are great, that's the merit they should stand on. That should be the criteria. And there's a lot of ethnic people making great movies and they don't get enough acknowledgement. And that's what the problem is, all right? So maybe we just need to create our own academy. Create our own academy, okay? All right? All right, anyway, I don't want to get into that. You guys can watch it on the news. It is one of the most trending subjects on the internet in a long time. I mean, that Oscar slap is trending globally. I think people on Mars and Jupiter and Venus are even trending on it because that slap resonated throughout the entire universe, you guys. So, and it did bring viewership and interest back to the Oscars because the Oscars interest was waning. People, I didn't watch. Did you guys watch the Oscars? I didn't watch the Oscars, but we woke up the next day hearing about this slap, and that's what got everybody. So the Oscars have finally got some attention brought back to them. So maybe next year people will be watching, anticipating some more action. You know, wow, what's going to happen this year? You know, so okay, let's get away from that, you guys, because we got other important things to go to. Okay, all right, here we go. And I hope you guys are keeping well. I hope you and your loved ones are being safe. I hope everyone's getting over this pandemic that doesn't seem to exactly go away, but it seems to be going away. And just when we think it's over, then, oh God, come on, you guys, but we're all still here. We're survivors, you guys, okay? Here we go. Now, all I have to say about the Ukrainians is it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight and the dog. And you know what? I'm sure Putin understands that very clearly now. Against all odds, the Ukrainians are scrapping their butts off and giving hell to the Russian ground forces. Now, Russia just happens to have bigger firecrackers. But on the ground forces, I wasn't expecting that because Russia's the second biggest army in the world. Now, the second biggest means the most strategic and the most capable. We've just learned something, haven't we? Of course, Ukraine has trained armed forces, but look how many people stayed behind to volunteer and help fight. And they stopped the Russian army from totally taking over the main city. Is it Kyiv? Kyiv? Kiev, whatever it is. You see them written a certain way, like Lviv. I guess it's Lviv, but it's L, but there's no A, but it's L-V-I-V. And you see these words written, so you're trying to pronounce them, and I'm trying to remember how they're pronouncing them. But I think the main city is Kiev, and that's where the president is, and they haven't totally taken over that. We got to give it up for the Ukrainian forces for whooping some Russian boo-boo, okay? And it's like the Russian president, the Ukrainian president is a former actor, comedian. I think Putin just totally underestimated his capability of stepping up to the plate and doing what he did. There you go. Now, if I was the director of the Pentagon, I would put a gag order on all major news agencies that's covering the Ukrainian war. How did they broadcast in real time exactly where they're hiding from the Russian soldiers? How many people are staked out with Molotov cocktail bombs and waiting for the Russian tanks to roll through? Then reporting how many Javelin tank and Stinger missiles they have in their arsenal inventory, and how many are being brought in from the U.S. They don't think Russia and Putin are watching the CNN news as well? That's too much classified and covert intel to be giving away on international television in the middle of a war. I just don't get that. They're reporting how many bombs are going to be delivered and how many are in their stockpile, and they're giving their inventory away, and they're showing, oh, we got a group of people hiding here, and you can see a building across the street, so you can see landmarks, and the Russians can go, okay, but this is where they are. I think they need to be just, what did they used to say in World War II? Loose lips sinks ships. I think they need to be a little more lip-sealed and tight about this thing, because I think they may be giving away too much information, and that's why they're sending in those bombs, because they know where these people are at. I don't know. It's just from my perspective and my take on it. I could be wrong, but I just don't think it's smart to broadcast in real time what your strategies are, what your exact condition and positions are. I just don't think that's a smart idea. Hey, that's just me, okay? But check this out, you guys. If Ukraine really wanted to handle this situation in the most expedient way, why didn't they do the smart thing? We all know there's only one way to handle the most notorious Russian tough guys. Why didn't the Ukrainian president send in John Wick, the boogeyman? Come on, you guys. You got to give it up. Come on, come on, come on. You see John Wick, how many did John Wick 1, John Wick 2, John Wick 3? John Wick can whoop some Russian tough guy butt. Why didn't they send in John Wick? I guess after The Matrix 4 flopped so embarrassingly at the box office, I guess Keanu Reeves, he lost his clout. I don't know. But okay, you guys, I'm making light of the situation because, not of the Ukraine, I'm just trying to make it light for all of us. Because come on, the Oscar slap, bombs being dropped, people being killed, and the pandemic still going on. We got to, find time to exhale in the middle of all this. Okay, so excuse my humor. I'm just trying to keep us, light. That's all, you guys. All right, here we go. So the main point of this commentary is we need to seriously think about where will we be 5 to 10 years from now? Where will our children be 20 years from now? We have to power, and we have to shape the future if we're focused on the important things that really matter, So not just what they're feeding us as what matters for their sake, because we have to find our real position and know where we stand so we can know where we're going. Think about it, where will we be 5 to 10 years from now? Nobody knows. Where will our children be 20 years from now? Nobody knows. And these are things that really matter. We got to get focused on these things, you guys, all right? It's not just what the media is feeding us and what the corporations are feeding us. We have to stop holding ourselves to standards that have been imposed upon us, especially if they don't benefit us and are meant to subdue us. We need to keep teaching our truths no matter who they may offend. Stop oppressing our truths. They got to stop doing that. Stop buck dancing around our truths. Any culture that can cancel you is really not your culture to begin with. No one could be canceled from the culture that produced them. You are intrinsically woven into the fabric of your culture. You are your culture. So all this stuff about cancel culture and stuff like that, and if because you say something that they don't agree with and this and that, that's how can you be canceled from a culture if it's your culture? Your culture can't cancel you because you are your culture. You know what I'm saying? So what am I saying then? That means that we have to understand what and where our real culture is. Is that our culture? Because if it's theirs, yeah, they can cancel you from it. If it's their academy, yeah, they can overlook your achievements or decide to award you for your achievements because it's their system. It's their culture. What is your culture? Think about that. How can you be canceled from your culture? It's impossible. But you could be canceled from theirs. And that's what's going on. All right? We're going to get into this deep, you guys. I'm going in deep, so please hang with me. Well, I'm going to cover a lot of ground here, you guys. So I hope you guys are ready for it. All right? Here we go. The craziest thing about the pandemic and the Ukrainian-Russia conflict is not the actual events, but looking at how the world has reacted to both is much more dramatic than the crisis itself. We have all been programmed how to react and how not to react to our own annihilation. Media outlets are reporting exactly what they want us to see, hear, and think. And not only that, but even how we should feel about it. They're telling us which side to support or which side to hate. They want us to hate their enemies. They want their enemies to be our enemies as well. And what stake do we have in this? What these people, the government people are, coming up with. And if our opinions differ from theirs, we get canceled. So now everyone must have the same opinion or be canceled from the communication pool to ensure you don't liberate others with the truth. Remember, I told you before, those your favorite newscasters are not reporting news from their own personal thoughts, however opinionated some journalists may be, but they are reading scripts. And there is a program director in a studio control booth telling them what to do and what not to do and what not to say over the air, or they'll catch hell from their sponsors if they go against the grain. Think about that. Program directors in the control booth. We're being programmed. We're being controlled. No matter how endearing some of these anchor people are, but they're reading scripts. They're being they have a program director controlling them what to say. They have this little feed in their ear, and if they start going off the script, they'll come in, or either they tell them to say a little more of this, or take it this way, or take it that way. That's what's going on, you guys. That's what it is. So I have to be careful. I'm not saying all the news is fake or anything like that, but I'm just saying they want us to see things from their perspective. They want us to react to things from their perspective. It's a system of control, but that control is controlling us all to our annihilation. We're gonna get to that, okay? So no matter how genuine your favorite newscaster or journalist seems to you, they are being controlled and have to stick to the narrative fed to them by their program directors, or else they'll lose their job. They'll replace them. They'll replace them, you see? So let me be clear on this. I really don't give a damn about popular sentiments concerning the Ukrainian-Russian conflict. However, I am affected by seeing human beings abused and murdered and families being misplaced. I actually went into whoop-ass mode, you guys, when I saw the report of a 14-year-old Ukrainian girl whose family's car got fired on by Russian soldiers as her family was trying to flee Ukraine. It's reported that when their car went into a certain area, the soldiers just saw a car coming and they just opened fire on the car without any warning or provocation. Her family, scared as hell, they pulled over, they got out of the car with their hands up to show that they were not being hostile. But it was too late for the 14-year-old daughter, who was shot in the side of her face, and her stitches are coming all like this. A 14-year-old girl, you guys. Now, because of her wounds, she has trouble now balancing herself, just trying to walk. And she used to be a gymnast doing pretty good gymnastics and acrobats. They showed a video of her previous performance at the gym. And when I see children being abused, I don't just get angry, you guys. I get pissed off. I get very pissed off. To hell with the politics. I'm not concerned about the politics. I'm concerned about humanity and on a human level, you guys. And that's why I say I don't give a damn about the sentiments about the Ukrainian side or the Russian side. As I said before, that's not even our war. That's not even our war. This thing can spill over and get bigger, and it can like start drawing other countries into it if it gets too out of hand. But at the end of the day, that's not our war in the first place. And I'm not trying to be dismissive. I'm not trying to, you know, show that I don't care about people, but you know, but when I see children get entangled in that, when I see children have to suffer and being, I mean, this girl, 14-year-old girl, beautiful girl too, now she has stitches going across her face and down like this on her. I hope she recovers. I hope she heals from that. Oh, I just hate to see children have to suffer from that, from what the decisions that these guys are making. Look at the people who have to suffer for it. Are Putin's children being shot at? This is what I'm talking about, you guys. More so than the actual war that's going on and, well, who's doing this and who's doing that. I'm talking about us as a humanity, what we have to deal with and how we can try and stop these things from happening, you know? You know, it's so heartbreaking to see any people go through such pains. Or is it? Lean with me on this, you guys. Lean with me. Is it really so heartbreaking to see people go through such pain? Well, according to our major media outlets, apparently it's not so sad to see some people go through such a drama. Now, before I go in hardcore, you guys, on the situation, I know some of you will be thinking this is not the time for racial comparisons while these people in Ukraine are still suffering. Well, guess what? Our people suffering started long before the Ukraine-Russia conflict and still ongoing in real time now. So when is a good time to address all of our sufferings? What? Like we got like a suffering time slot, you know? Well, okay, well, now it's time for us to focus on the Ukrainian suffering. And well, we can put the Haitian suffering on the back burner. We can put the Syrian suffering over here. No, you guys, these things are going on concurrently in real time, and we can't just dismiss some for others, you know. And that's one thing, the way that they're just so inundating the news about this one conflict. This one conflict is just the 24 hours on CNN. But you know, I know speaking up for the underdog makes me look like the angry militant black guy. But hey, somebody has to do it. And yes, I am angry. I am black. And I am a guy. So, but wouldn't it be nice if we saw the same compassion shown to people of all countries who suffer political unrest and natural disasters? The way we're now watching the world come together in solidarity for the people of Ukraine is very commendable. It's a beautiful thing. But why is this reaction for the suffering of a European country far more sympathetic and urgent than the reaction of people of non-European countries? That's the question I'm asking you guys. And we all know it's true. Don't nobody try to dismiss this. We all know that it's true. You guys know it's true. The non-stop news coverage and personal interviews showing a more up-close and personal side of the conflict, given faces to and names to the victims, makes it so much more tangible. It helps us really feel what these people are going through. And it should be done that way. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be covering Ukraine the way they are. They shouldn't be reacting to it. I'm just saying, why aren't other countries given the same type of coverage and the same type of empathy, you know? Did you guys see how many reporters were sent to Ukraine? CNN alone has about 5 or more reporters on ground. When I saw Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper in Ukraine, wow, where the bombs are being dropped daily, I was like, okay, let's risk our lives for a good story, why don't we? You know, maybe they'll get a journalist prize or something like that. I don't know. And let's pray they don't get killed, you know. One reporter was killed. I don't know what agency he came from or if it's freelance or something, but I remember one American reporter has been killed since this conflict started. So we pray that these guys are going to be okay, you know. The rest of the CNN crew or whatever crew is over there trying to cover it. It's a very dangerous job. It's a very, very dangerous job, very risky job, you guys. So we pray for them as well as the Ukrainian people. But for some reason, you guys, and lean in with me on this one. For some reason, when it's an African, Middle Eastern, or other ethnic country, it doesn't get the same compassion as does the European country experiencing the same type of crisis. Let's go in and see what's going on. Do you know for decades that the children and families are suffering in the mines in the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, just making enough money to eat off? But they're digging for billions of dollars worth of the rich minerals such as coltan, cassiterite, and cobalt. Now, it's the minerals that make wireless devices and our mobile phones operate, and for the batteries of the Tesla electric cars. The future is supposed to be all electric. So where does most of the materials come from? They help Elon Musk and these other corporations achieve that. 80% of it is coming out of Democratic Republic of Congo. And if you guys don't know this by now, the Democratic Republic of Congo, just that one area, is the richest real estate on the planet, worth trillions of dollars. And they got kids and people going in there digging with no gloves, with no proper digging equipment, just trying to eat. And they don't even understand the industry that the minerals that they're digging for is going out for, to these multi-billion-dollar Samsung, Apple, Facebook, the Meta, Facebook, and Elon Musk, and all these other electric cars, and all these devices that need to be wireless and all that. These kids don't even know what the minerals even for. They're just trying to eat. That's what's going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo. There's a lot of videos on YouTube. You guys can check it out, okay? So, and we're all celebrating Elon Musk. But where is he getting this material from? So these children and people have no protective gear. Quite often those makeshift boreholes and tunnels, they collapse on these people and kill them. But yet, very little is said about it. But look how Apple, Tesla, Samsung, and so many others are benefiting from the hardships and these deaths. And to be fair, there have been a couple of reports, and you can find these videos on YouTube too, but where is the international outrage against such atrocities against the people of the Congo? It's like organized slave labor, and that human abuse is ongoing year after year after year, and we are all benefiting from it. Me as well, all of us, because we're using the devices that require the minerals that they're getting, you see? And are you all aware of how many military coups occurred in West Africa in the past couple of years and still ongoing? Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Chad, Niger, and over there in the east in the Sudan, just to name a few. Where are all the personal interviews that give us a heartwarming inside view of their sufferings? African children can sing too. African children play sports and love their parents and their families too. But they do a whole special on a little Ukrainian girl singing in a bomb shelter. And I'm not trying to mitigate that at all. Yes, it is cute and very heartwarming, but should we only be sentimental for European children? That's my point. That's my point. But yet, and please listen to this. Listen to this. You guys, listen to what I'm about to tell you. It's the European United Nations UN peacekeepers that are deployed into Africa and Haiti on the pretense of aiding and helping these people during their crisis, who wind up raping, molesting, and abandoning their unwanted bastard children that they have fathered. It's reported that girls as young as 11 years old were molested and impregnated, and they've been abandoned by the UN peacekeepers in Haiti. This is what the Europeans are doing when they come to ethnic countries. Now remember what I said. When I say Europeans, if I say the West, or if I say the Caucasian, I'm not talking about every individual people. I'm talking about the guilty parties, you guys. So I'm not putting this on everybody. I'm not putting this on all Europeans. I'm talking about the people who have done this. But where's the global outrage? Where are all the personal interviews and videos of these young girls singing? Black girls can sing too. So when Europeans do it to ethnic people, it's acceptable or lightly touched on. But when Europeans do it to themselves, it becomes an issue to be dealt with and given in-depth reporting on. Now, let me read an article on what happened in the Central Africa Republic. Do any of you guys know where the Central African Republic is? I'm waiting. You see, most of us didn't even know where Ukraine was located. We know this is somewhere in East Europe or something like that, but but I'm sure most of you don't even know where to locate Central Africa Republic on the map, okay? Now, this article, the headline alone encapsulates everything, but I'll read the details anyway, okay? All right. Listen to the headline, the heading. No charges in sexual abuse case involving French peacekeepers. No charges in a sexual abuse case involving French peacekeepers. This is almost as bad as the Catholic Church. I'm sorry to have to go there, you guys, but that's what. Let me read the article. Here we go. This was reported in January 6, 2017 by, I don't pronounce the French names right, Binot Maureen or something like that. I don't speak the French well, oui, vous, parlez-vous français, So anyway, that's the name, okay. But anyway, check this out, you guys. A panel of French judges has decided not to bring charges against soldiers accused of having sexually abused children while on a peacekeeping mission in the Central African Republic. Officials said on Friday, soldiers were sent to the country, a former French colony, in 2013 to help quell a sectarian conflict there. But allegations of sexual and physical violence by the troops have been an embarrassment for France. They also have been an embarrassment for the United Nations, where rights investigators compiled a confidential report in 2014 about the allegations, and the organization did not move quickly to rectify them. The French authorities became aware of the allegations only when the report was leaked to them. They covered this up. They knew about it and covered it up. It had to be leaked. The lapse at the United Nations and promptly notifying the French led to an investigation by an independent panel that accused some of the organization's officials of having passed the allegations from desk to desk, from inbox to inbox, and having failed to meet their core mission to protect the rights of the most vulnerable civilians. These are nothing less than criminal charges, but yet overlooked and swept under a European carpet of shame. So what damn good is the UN if it can't protect innocent children from its own personnel? But yet, we're crying for the children of Ukraine because they're in a conflict and they have to be displaced. And yes, we should. Yes, we should have empathy for them. We should have sympathy for them. I'm not saying we should ignore their sufferings, but why are we ignoring our sufferings? The officials, United Nations, they know about this stuff and they hiding it and they sweeping it over and then they going from desk to desk. Okay, well, yeah, you see this report? Yeah, we got the report. Okay, put it over here. Okay, well, this report, yeah, put it over there. Until it's finally leaked out and comes around. And still, no charges. At the end of the day, they decided not to charge any, not to file any charges against the guilty parties. Because why? Because they're French and it only happened to ethnic people. Am I still sounding like the angry black guy? I should. I really hope so. I should. Okay? All I'm saying is, if we're going to be empathetic, sympathetic, and compassionate to human suffering, we should not pick and choose which countries are racist to support. It should be incumbent upon us as a species to have an equitable outpour of love and compassion for all the people of this planet that we share together, especially when, and even if we don't, but especially when we benefit so greatly from those who are suffering. That is my point of contention, okay? That's my point of contention. As Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, and Lionel Richie once wrote, we are the world. You guys remember that song? All right. But it seems some people only think they are the world. And that's the problem. That's the problem. We have to free ourselves from the programming and return to being humans again. Humans have to be able to live as we were created to live, as our genetic codes were created to function, not what we have made ourselves to become or what they have made us to become. Do you think our genetic codes were created to work from a 9-to-5 job every week? You thought that's what the universe was brought into existence for, so humans can come and just check into a 9 to 5 job and scrape and scuffle most of their lives and pay taxes? That's what they created. That's their paradigm. That's their construct. And we're all trapped and interwoven into it and going about it as if it's the order of the universe. It's not. Trying to appease a system that's based on economic wealth rather than ecological balance is incongruous to nature and the future of our survival. You know, it's very incongruous to nature and the future of our survival. We are making decisions and acts that's meant to balance out a corporate spreadsheet instead of keeping up with the more salient issues to sustain nature and our lives. And what are these salient issues? Keeping our oceans and rivers clean from contaminants. Stop dragnet fishing with trawlers that unintentionally scoop up dolphins, whales, and all other kind of sea life that's not even meant for consumption and just killing them. Ensuring that the oxygen we breathe is pollutant free. That's where the lung diseases, among other illnesses, are coming from, you guys. We have to stop depleting wildlife and forests so precipitously in order to fulfill an inventory quota. That's why, you know what? That's why there's always these big year-end sales, because the inventory is always overstocked. You know, they always overproduce, trying to meet these quotas and trying to make sure that they get these financial returns coming in. That's why they waste so much material. They're doing overproducing. So every store that has a franchise, they got to make sure that they stock full that branch, that branch, that branch. And every branch ain't gonna sell out. In fact, most of them don't, but they overstock. So they're overproducing, which means they're over consuming these goods, wherever these goods are coming from. If it's coming from the ocean, if it's coming from the forest, if it's coming from animals, if it's coming from, artificial fabrics or whatever. They're always overproducing and overstocking. That's why we always have these big year-end sales, because now they got to get rid of all the, extra merchandise that they have that they couldn't sell off, okay? And most importantly, we have to stop the inequality of humans due to their racial backgrounds. To be honest, if everyone practiced equality across the board, there's really enough people in every society that can't keep up with the upper classes anyway. Everyone doesn't have the same intellect or the same ambition or the same drive to be, the this and that. So there's always going to be a lower working class regardless. So you don't have to create a lower working class to ensure that you have one. There are dumb white people, there are dumb black people, there are dumb Asians, there are dumb Latinos. I don't mean to say dumb, but let's just say that there are people who only have such a level of intellect or capability to be an entrepreneur or be, whatever it is that these high-paying jobs are going for, or this and that. You'd be surprised because, you get people coming out of the ghetto that's more intelligent than people going to Ivy League schools. So it goes all the way around. So we should, as Martin Luther King said, base people on the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. And that's the problem that we're having, trying to ensure their position of privilege stays, remains buoyant and untouched. That's what they're doing. But I think they're making a wrong decision, because you got people who might have better ideas on that side of the track than what you have, and you're not allowing them to reach their potential and even help you see, because you're being so discriminative. So we're clearly on a collision course with total annihilation, and no one can refute that. And each passing generation is being more desensitized to human sufferings and the intrinsic relationship that we share with nature. But these big tech corporations, they keep bringing out new gadgets that only distract us from these salient issues, and we waste away hours daily on foolishness. Now, movies are streamed on every device that we own, and people are just glued to their screens watching other people's fantasies and garbage. And I mean, entertainment is fine. It has its place, but overindulgence, now we can sit up and watch movies 24 hours, either on a handheld device, either on a TV, on a laptop, or whatever like that. And some people just waste away so much time, but they could be putting it into more productive, activities, Give yourself time to think and refresh your mind and just relax a bit, you know? And I keep telling you guys, your diet isn't just what you eat, but everything you consume on a sensorial level. What you see, what you hear, what you say, what you feel, taste, and the toxic people and programs that you allow into your existence. You know, that is your diet. That is your diet, you guys, not just what you eat. Stop thinking that there's 24 hours in a day. That is so misleading. That is a big misconception that there are 24 hours in a day. We only have roughly 12 hours of daytime, and then about 12 hours of nighttime. So if you only have 12 hours of daytime, what are you doing during that time to help improve not only your personal life, but also the life of humanity and the future generations to come? Isn't that our onus as humans? Isn't that what we should be doing? We just have to reprioritize our perception on values and what is successful and what is true happiness. We just watched our whole world shut down from a pandemic that reports, follow me you guys, so far it reports 6.12 million deaths globally. The coronavirus pandemic up until now has reported 6.12 million deaths globally. Yet, follow me, the Spanish flu reported 50 million deaths globally. Mind you, in 2020, there were 10 million deaths by cancer globally, and cardiovascular diseases takes 17.9 million lives annually. Go figure. Go figure. But yet we shut down everything, and up until now, we have 6.12 million deaths by COVID. But the corporations continue to produce the products that contribute to these greater death tolls for cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and so on. These things can all be managed or avoided with a healthier diet. People are being mandated to take a vaccine that's not obligated to release its clinical test trial results until 75 years later. Do you guys know that? Pfizer is not obligated to release their clinical test trials until another 75 years. We'll all be dead. I'm not saying about a virus or nothing. I'm just saying we'll all be dead 75 years from now. You know, so why would they have that clause? Why would they even want that clause? Who is this they? As I told you before, only enough people to fill up a board meeting room. But we are billions. We number in the billions. But only enough people to fill up a boardroom are making all these decisions. If they can create a system, so can we. If only we unplug our minds from their system. One reason that makes it so difficult for some people to unplug from their system is that they're so interwoven into religious beliefs or think that their country has their best interest at heart. If we don't take it back to the world, you guys, there will be no more world to go back to. If we don't make love great again, we will continue to annihilate each other. Who am I? You know, I'm just one person concerned about the future of humanity and this beautiful blue planet that we're so blessed to inhabit. As I told you in my last video, this is a gift. Life is a gift. Oxygen is a gift. The water on this planet is a gift. No human created any of that. We didn't make any of it. So what right do we have to destroy it all, to pollute it, to contaminate it, to decimate wildlife, decimate human life? We've got so much space debris orbiting our planet right now. You guys think that the oceans are overpolluted? Space is now overpolluted with space debris that's orbiting our planet, stuff that they can't bring down and have to wait for it to finally lose its orbital speed and crash into the Earth or crash into the moon. I told you in the last video, there's so far have been 12 to 13 dead crafts that have already crash landed on the moon. And this is all right with mankind. This is mankind. It's another day in the office, yeah. So this is where they're taking us, and we're sitting back allowing it. We're just letting it. We're joining in on the fun. We're all going to get into the meta. Oh, Hey, you guys, I got an idea. Why don't we put everybody in the metaverse so they can put on these goggles and they can just be in, and we're all just, wow, man, the metaverse is coming. Can't wait to get in there. Anything they come out with, we just can't wait to just join in and help them at our own detriment. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. We need to get through with all of these issues before we even talk about the results of it. The war is a result of it. What Putin is doing is a result of humans not being centered and focused enough. Mankind just running rampant around the planet and destroying everything. It's going to knock on our door one day, if it hasn't already. We're just waiting for it to come to our door. We're watching it happen to Ukraine. We're watching it happen to Syria, to the Sudan, to the people in that country. We're just waiting for it. This is like musical chairs. Eventually it's going to knock on our door. Then what? And then that's when it hits home. You see? So I'll let you guys on a little secret, okay? If you guys haven't heard about this. And I said this a couple of years ago. America is for sale. So why aren't you fools buying it? Stop buying overpriced cars and designer brand clothes and jewelry and buy some damn land. And it don't have to be in some expensive suburb or some big popular city. I guess you guys are afraid that if like Kanye West, he bought some land out, where is it, Omaha or somewhere, one of those. I guess you guys are afraid that if you buy it out there, you won't be able to flash it in front of everybody and show off in front of the people in your hood or something like that. That's a stupid mentality, you guys. You know, America's for sale. The Arabs are buying some of it. The Chinese are buying some of it. The so-and-so are buying it. America's for sale, you guys. Why aren't you guys buying some of it? Are you guys aware that 70% of $100 bills that are minted and printed are outside of the United States of America? Think about that. 70% of $100 bills that are printed are outside of the United States of America. What does that tell you? You're all being played so damn hard and don't even know it. If we do not reprogram ourselves in our lives, our cultures, and take our planet back, and leave things in the hands of these destructive rulers, we will all be annihilated. Because the program that we're on right now has programmed us all for annihilation. They're training our kids. They're desensitizing our kids. I told you that before, with all these video games, with this Grand Theft Auto, with this other game. I saw the advert for a game where a man falls down a hill. He hits a mountain. He hits a building. His brains are splashing out. And when he falls down, his body is all tangled up. And then they wait and see him fall like that again. That's a game. Why should children, teenagers, adults, why should anybody be watching such horrific images? It leaves an imprint in our mind. Like I said, we are what we eat. Our diet is what we take in. And we're being desensitized. What is this TV show, The Purge? Who would create a thing like where neighbors are going around killing each other in the neighborhood? What are they preparing us for? We're being programmed for annihilation. And it's up to us to turn it around, you guys. All right? I'm going to let you guys go because I know you guys want to hear more about the Oscar slap. I know you guys want to keep up with the death toll in Ukraine. I still have to give the Ukrainian army props. I don't want to take sides. I don't want to be, emotionally invested in this conflict or anything like that. I do hate to see human suffering. I'm sad to see that go on, especially with the children. For that, I can give Putin an Oscar slap. Will Smith, send in John Wick and Will Smith over there and give Putin a slap, okay? Because what he's doing to families and children. What is happening between the countries, they ain't none of my business. They ain't none of our business. But that this thing goes way back, It goes back, you guys, so they know what they're up to. They know what they're inciting with each other and instigating. So sometimes you need to stay out of fights, because you get caught up in it and then there you are, But anyway, you guys, we have to take our planet back. We have to take our cultures back. We have to take our humanity back because these people are on a road to total annihilation. Look at where we've come from. Look at what we've done. Look at what's happening. Where in the hell do you think we're going if things continue the way it is? How do we take it back? Okay, we'll talk about that on another post. The best way that we should take it back is not just one, blanket, one size fits all solution, but there are, an aggregation of things that we can do to try and get a hold of our cultures, our humanity, and our planet. People feel that when we die, we're going to go to heaven. I believe there's a continuum, but from man's point of view and anthropomorphizing the concept, it's like, heaven with gates and mansions and apartments and all that stuff, because that's a man's version of it. It's not that, but there's a continuum. But this life that we have now is so precious. And if this life is a test to get us to that next continuum, are we passing that test? What are we doing to help, alleviate all these things that are going on, the evils? What are we doing to help better things? So that's where we are, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. As I always say, we got to spread the love, make love great again, and we got to take you guys back to the world. Please leave your comments. I love you guys' perspective. I really love you guys when you leave your comments with me. You know I do, and I respond to as many people as I possibly can, and I appreciate you all very much. Please take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones. Let's see what happens with this conflict, that it doesn't keep, getting bigger and bigger. We hope that they find a way to quell that's going on over there in Ukraine, and not just in Ukraine. We hope that they can help rebuild Haiti. We hope they can rebuild Syria, Iraq, all the places around the world that they've gone around and just caused confusion and destruction and death, All we know for right now, until we get to that next transition, we only know this human experience, and that's what we have. What are we doing with it? There you go. I love you all very much. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you.